It has been a hot minute since I have done a review. School, I'm telling you. Well, I've had a rough couple months. So, with the weather changing and it getting warmer and baseball is back, I feel like I'm starting to get centered again. I still don't have my truck. And as of today, it's been 2 months. So, shout out to State Farm and the auto body shop for dragging out of this situation. So, but I mean, I haven't done a review since Champions came out in like March, and John Wick 4 and Spinning Gold and Super Mario Brothers and Air and Renfield. So forgive me. I'm back. I every time I get on here, I promise that I'm going to try to do more of these. And it's always my goal. It is the notes on my phone. If it has to count for something. But anyways, let's start with movies. Okay. So, Champions. I know it's probably not in the theaters still. If it is, try to find a theater, go see it. If you have to wait for streaming, please do me a favor and please see this movie. Please. You will not be disappointed. It so far has been one of my favorite movies of the year. Had no expectations going into seeing it. It was just all around. It was a wonderful, heartwarming movie without the cheese factor. Um, Woody Harrelson's great. It's so fun to see him on the big screen. It's just it's a wonderful cast of characters. Just please, 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 when it comes out on streaming, please make sure if you scroll by, you check it out, please. Okay, now I'm sure John Wick 4. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen it by now. I'm not going to give any spoilers here, but I'm assuming you all stayed for the very, 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 very end credit scene, right? At the very end of the movie, and you see where kind of this franchise might be going, right? That's not a spoiler. But what do I have to say about John Wick? It was beautiful. It was probably one of the most beautiful movies I've seen this year. The colors in it were fantastic. It was sometimes I forgot about the movie I was watching and was just looking at the lighting of certain scenes. It was a gorgeous movie. I thought it was a little long. I thought it was about 20, 30 minutes too long. Some of the fighting started to take on a choreographed feel, which kind of takes me out of it. But there were some shots, the overhead shot fighting, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, through the house, very much like a video game. It was very cool, very innovative. I thought it was a great, fun movie. Once again, I thought it was better than 3. I wasn't a big fan of 3, but I love this cast of characters. It was a great ensemble. You can't say enough good things about it. But like I said, just a little too long. And you needed to see the credit scene, but neither here nor there. And if you haven't seen it, go back to the movies, sit through it again, watch the credit scene. Okay. The next one that I saw was, the thing is, I've actually probably don't remember all the movies I've seen, but Spinning Gold was the next one I remember seeing because I did miss Dungeons and Dragons. I do really regret that. I'm going to try to go see that this month at the Alamo Draft House. Shout out to them for partnering with me and helping me out with this. I hope to get many, many more movies, old and new, under my belt, more reviews up. I can do this. And many more opportunities for those of you who live in St. Louis, possibly, hopefully, maybe one day down the road, partnering with Alamo all over the country. Anyways, Spinning Gold. It was about the history of the creation of Casablanca Records. I did not like it. not like it at all. It actually kind of was heartbreaking that you had some of the best music of the 70s and it sucked. It should have been a documentary on Netflix, Hulu, doesn't really matter, Apple, with the real singers, the real performers, and a story told that way. This was not good. It was, no, it just was not good. The music, it made you want to get the Casablanca Records greatest hits album. I do actually have that. That's whole I actually have it on the CD. And listen to that. But you did kind of really miss the real music of it. So if it's on, watch it and then just tell me I'm right about how bad it is. But I wouldn't pay to go see it. Okay, let's see. In order that I have seen these, Super Mario Brothers. I will confess, I fully expected to hate this movie. I was vocally expecting to hate this movie. We were allowed to see it with no guests, and a lot of times that is for reasons of not wanting to spoil a movie. The last James Bond movie, we weren't allowed to bring guests as press to the screening of the movie, and that is because obviously big spoiler for that movie. So when there was no guests for Super Mario Brothers, I thought, well, you really can't spoil anything, so this is gonna be bad. They just don't want us to talk about it. And it ended up being pretty good. Now you're gonna say pretty good. Yeah. But again, I don't have children of that age that I would enjoy seeing that. Plus, I'm not a video game player. So I think if you're a video game player, you are going to probably love it even more than I did because you're going to understand all the Easter eggs. That's not to say that I didn't like it. It's just, I'm sure I would have had a better appreciation for the movie if I had played the games. I didn't know enough that I enjoyed it, but I will tell you the one thing about it is it was visually stunning. The animation has exploded. I mean, I can't believe how far movies have come. The first scene with Bowser, it's funny saying these names. I was the first thing that went through my mind was, wow, this looks really great. Every scene, it just looked really great. I was worried that they would do a really appropriated, cringy, offensive Italian accent, and they didn't. They do kind of tease about it a little, but it has a place in the movie and it's not gross. Grossly used. It's really good. So if that one is still out the movie theaters, I think you should take kids to go see it. There are a couple parts in it for little kids. It might be a little too intense, a little too scary, but I just might be a weenie, so whatever. Moving on to Air, Courting a Legend. This is another one. This is going to make me sound like a really, really bad movie critic, and it's because I'm not a movie critic. I was dreading this because Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in movies, they've reached the pinnacle of celebritydom that unless they play regular people, I don't like really big actors in period pieces. Ergo, like Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke in The Northman. You're not Vikings. We all know who you are. Like you were in Days of Thunder. Like unfortunately, once, in just my opinion, once you've reached a certain peak of celebrity as far as an actor, it's very hard for me to believe you in something that's just fantastical. Saying all that, I was also kind of dreading this movie. And it was great. I am actually kind of worried that it's going to be overlooked during award season. It was so good. I maybe it was the Gen and my Gen X. The Gen X in me. Because a lot of the music was from 1984, because that's where it centers around, is that year. And I love the 80s. So fantastic soundtrack, the acting, again, once again, the ensemble. I can't say enough good things for when a group of actors work well with each other. If there is chemistry, you will feel it. If there isn't, you will feel it. Everybody works well off of each other. I heard that Ben Affleck as a director tends to get the best out of Matt Damon as an actor, and I would agree. I would love to see the behind the scenes as far as like how many takes they had to do this, or if this was just stuff that this was very natural between them. Great writing, even though you know how the story turns out, you're still sitting there in suspense and like nervous. But no, absolutely go see it. Try to talk about it to keep it in minds of people when it comes to award season, because I do really believe that this deserves recognition when it comes to award time. Okay, Renfield. I don't even think I did a Cocaine Bear one. Anyways, off topic. Renfield. It's cheesy. It's campy. And it works. It works. There are laugh out loud parts. Nicolas Cage, you can tell, is having a fantastic time with this movie. Yeah, I wouldn't put it on the level of Cocaine Bear if you enjoy Cocaine Bear, but it's that type of, we're getting a lot of those kind of like Violent Night, Cocaine Bear, Renfield, those kind of like 90-minute fun, in your face, very violent, very cheesy, but just popcorn-ish type movies. And I don't hate it. I think it's great. I think it's actually great for getting young kids, teenagers, back into the movie theater. Because this is exactly the type of movie that I would have seen on a Friday night with a group of friends if I had had. But yeah, no, it's very bloody, but it's a fun time. It's exactly what you think it's going to be, but it's laughs, it's cheese, it's great. Enjoy it. Do a $5, but don't see it at home. It's 90 minutes. No, it's not. Maybe it is. I can't remember now. I think it is. And the last one I have seen was The Covenant. Now, I actually can't talk about that one until the 18th. April 18th. It's Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. All I'm going to say is you definitely should see it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give a review. That's not that my reviews are any kind of, eye-opening extravaganza, but it's, when it comes out, go see it. Go see it for a few reasons, but I'm not going to get into that because I said I wouldn't talk about it. So before I wrap this up, I'm also going to talk a skoonch about The Mandalorian. This is my thought about this season's The Mandalorian. If they would have done The Mandalorian, it looks like Ahsoka, if they would have done these series before they had jumped into sequels for Star Wars, it would have made these sequels so much better. When it comes to nerdery, as a nerd, as a sci-fi nerd, and as just an overall general comic book, just a fantasy nerd. We love world building. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't want to see 85 things before they go see a movie because they don't want to do backstory. That's fine. These movies and that stuff is not for you. We enjoy world building as nerds. It's what we love. It's what we enjoy. It's what we immerse ourselves in. So it's fine. Go do whatever popular people do who aren't hermits. Go enjoy those kind of movies. I gave you a couple. Air. I'm sure you saw John Wick, Super Mario Brother. Oh, Super Mario. Go see those. Enjoy them. But please leave the 1,000 hours of television and film of world building to us nerds. We enjoy it. Having said that, I really think they should have done all this before these sequel movies. I look forward to actually rewatching the sequel movies, and I'm talking about 7, 8, 9. I actually look forward to watching them again after The Mandalorian's done and after Ahsoka's done, because much like the Clone Wars helped with some of the prequel stuff into 4, 5, and 6, New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi, these help build towards 7, 8, 9. It's just my personal opinion. Agree, disagree, I don't really care. Get your own YouTube channel and tell me how I'm wrong. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. I'm gonna do better next time. I hope to not have 7 movies to review at one time. So yeah, until then, I will see you at the movies. Ta-ta for now.